So my wife invited him to our girl's third birthday party. He wasn't at our wedding, and I had never met him before. Even on previous visits, he was always in and out. Sometimes my wife could see him, but sometimes she couldn't. Then there he was, this tall white man with dark blonde hair and hazel-colored eyes. He and my wife were obviously close. They hugged for a long time. The whole time he was there, he was wherever my wife was and my family, and I watched them. If she was putting more food out, he was there helping. If she was collecting stray plates and cups and trash, he was there giving a hand. The whole time he was there, they were laughing and talking. She introduced him to those who didn't know him. But it was obvious he wasn't there to socialize, he just wanted to talk to her for the time he was there. A couple of hours later, it was time for him to go. My wife walked him out. They had another long hug before he climbed into his Uber and left. My mother and sister were in my ear from the moment they laid eyes on him. I didn't need to hear their suspicions. I had plenty of my own rocking around in my head. I'll spare you all the gory details of my behavior in the weeks following my girl's birthday. I'll only say I wasn't a pleasure to be around. My wife doesn't like drama, doesn't like conflict. She likes to talk things out. That doesn't mean she'll back away from conflict and avoid drama at any costs, only that she prefers to work things out calmly. So in the middle of me picking an argument with her, when I finally outright accused her of cheating, accused her of passing those kids off as mine and demanding a paternity test, I did not expect her to come back at me as hot as she did. She said she had been waiting for the day I would throw this at her. She had not been blind or deaf to all my family had said and done over the years. Am I allowing it? But she had hoped I had more trust in her than to listen to people who never approved of her, people who had nothing better to do with their lives but talk BS about everyone else. I don't know why her saying those things pushed me over the edge. The argument grew and grew. I grabbed by the upper arm so hard I left bruises and shook her. Her hand came up and slapped me right across the face. The police were called. I was made to leave the house. I went to my parents a couple of days later. I went home, but the locks had been changed and my wife wasn't answering the door or picking up her phone. The following week, she filed a petition for paternity of all my kids. Did you know you can check for a part 2 by pressing share and then more? I accused my wife of cheating on me and demanded a paternity test, so she got one and it changed my life forever. 2 weeks later, the day after I was given confirmation that they were my kids, I received divorce papers. It's been months. I've tried calling her. I have reached out through Facebook, tried intermediaries. I've written letters. She refuses to engage. I've been told by her sister, who has been blocked by my wife, that she refuses to talk to anyone about me and is cutting out anyone who tries to bring me up. She doesn't care if they're family or friends. One word about me, she cuts them out, blocks them. Her parents are the go-between these days, and only about the kids. They bring the kids to me whenever I ask for them. My wife won't allow me to go to the house, not even to pick up drop off the kids, yet she doesn't try to stop me from seeing them. Her mom told me she doesn't know if my wife will ever forgive me. She is deeply hurt and absolutely refuses to speak about me. I try to give them money for my kids every time I see them, but they refuse it, saying my wife doesn't want my money. A mutual friend has told me he thinks I broke her. He and his wife help her with the kids sometimes and he says the life has gone right out of her. I have leased an apartment a couple of blocks away from my wife and children and have gone very low contact with my own family. Not that I blame them for what I did, but it's hard to be around them right now. They continue to blame my wife for all that's happened and take no accountability for any wrongdoings against her since my sons were born. My kids keep asking when I'm coming home and why mom cries all the time. I don't know what to tell them. I'm not looking for advice on how to save my marriage. It's too late for that. There is no getting around the fact I have destroyed my family. I miss my kids. I miss my wife. I wish I could take it all back, but I can't. I've lost her. Even so, maybe there are people here who can advise me on how to foster an amicable co-parenting relationship. Maybe help me find a way that will get my wife to accept my financial support for her and the kids. I still pay the mortgage on the house so she doesn't have to worry about that. She works but she doesn't make enough to live comfortably. I'm prepared to be vilified. My only hope is that there is some useful counsel and guidance that comes with the insults and disparagement.